this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. This regular volatility that we're going through has a lot of people spooked in the crypto market, but you know who isn't? That would be literally all of the XRP chart analysts that I follow. In fact, they are very excited and very optimistic for the future because it makes sense to feel that way. There's so many analysts out there that insist the bet is yet ahead. And one of the most popular chart analysts out there says that the primary target much higher than where we are right now. So I'm going to share with you commentary and analysis from a dozen different XRP chart analysts. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this video, it is 7:07 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. XRP is $3 on the dot. You got Bitcoin at 111,715 bucks. So we're up a fair bit from the 24-hour low of $2.86 with a 24-hour high of $3.07. So I know those types of quick swings, of course, that there was going to be a group of people that get scared by that. But it's also very normal. Crypto's doing crypto stuff. And when crypto does crypto stuff, that doesn't mean that it's time to panic. That does not make logical sense. Everything is fine. And frankly, XRP has never been so well positioned. So you'll love to see it. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache. This is the Others BTC chart here, with Others, of course, being the top 125 coins by market cap, excluding the top 10 coins. So XRP is not in this, but paints a picture of what to expect for altcoins, which I think it's highly consequential, let's say that, because realistically, we're here not to get rich from Bitcoin, but from altcoins. And the whole market's going to go when it goes. So, but anyway, so here he wrote, altcoins. Most people out there are bearish again, even though altcoins are in a falling wedge that has been in place for 4 years. Dips are for buying. Don't let the lower time frame unsettle you. It's all just noise. Much higher after this correction. Yeah, and I don't doubt that he's correct about that. I mean, this chart, it's going to rip Bitcoin to shreds. And the most fun individual chart would be the XRP BTC chart, because my God. I mean, it just makes my heart happy knowing how much people, you know, in particular toxic Bitcoin maximalists, just despise XRP. There's so many of them that irrationally hate XRP. So many people that suffer from XRP derangement syndrome. Just seeing XRP make Bitcoin its little bitch, it makes my heart happy. It fills me with joy. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing where things land by the end of this market cycle. Here's a post from Altcoin Vector. This is an Ethereum price chart. And they wrote, Ethereum is reversing from bearish pressure, and now the target is $5,000. $5,000 is not just resistance, it's Ethereum's breakout wall. Breaking it will unlock the next stretch higher, but also trigger a profit-taking zone. First, Ethereum must hit it with full force. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this, because obviously they're correct about that $5,000 level, but this historically is what kicks off alt season. Once you have Ethereum not just tapping the all-time high, which it did the other day, and very happy to see that, but once it actually rips through with conviction, that's when everything goes, including XRP. So I'm just highlighting, this is the moment we're living in. We are that close. We are super close. And you've seen other things of crucial importance happen in recent days too. Like even at the end of last week, you saw new highs for the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ 100. You saw the Russell 2000 rip to the upside. It was an exciting day, frankly, Friday last week. So all of that's happening right now. All these things that should make you, have increased confidence that, yeah, actually the best really is yet ahead. And this is just what happens towards the end of cycles. We've gone through this every single cycle there's ever been. Here's a post from on-chain analytics firm Swissblock. Right, Bitcoin is at a make or break level. $110,000 equals lifeline support. $121,000 equals ceiling to break. In short, Bitcoin has proven resilience above $100,000, but survival above $110,000 will decide if the trend continues bullish or tips into structural weakness. Now, we are above that at this time, so happy to see that. But even if we do go lower, they're not insisting that this is something that's going to destroy what we would hope would unfold big picture. They're just noting, hey, there would be some weakness there in the short term here. In fact, Credible Crypto talked about that today, and I'm going to highlight that in just a second here. First, let me share this post. Is from Mikey Bull Crypto. It's an ETH BTC chart. He said, MACD bullish cross about to flip for the first time in 5 years. Alt season is coming in full force. And so you can see this in the charts. This is a momentum indicator. And you can see in the charts what is most probable by a lot. And still people are fearful here at a time when it makes way more sense to just be excited. Logic, data, reason, my friends. Let's use it. Here's a post from chart analyst, the great Matsby. He says, first we saw Bitcoin get rejected at previous 2021 all-time highs at $69,000. Then we saw Solana get rejected at previous 2021 all-time highs multiple times and still can't break above yet. Then we saw XRP get rejected around previous 2018 all-time highs and still can't break above yet. Now we are seeing Ethereum get rejected at 2021 all-time highs because it's not ready to break out yet. The bottom line is they will all follow Bitcoin's lead and sooner or later will break into all-time highs. It's not if, but when. Okay, that's the type of sentiment that you're going to see from all of the analysts that I follow. The best is yet ahead. They know that this is normal. This is not a time to be fearful. We haven't had XRP. Can you imagine XRP spent the better part of a decade consolidating, finally ripping to the upside just to tap the all-time high briefly a couple times this year? I do not believe for a moment it's done. You'd have to have a true black swan event for everything to fall apart here. Highly improbable, let's say. Higher, my friends. Here's a post from Crypto Insight UK. He says, XRP holding pretty well here on the daily. Lows holding throughout this chop. Relative strength index holding around 40. Looking to see if we can get a day or two of solid price action, and I think we'd be away. A similar story with XRP BTC, but we see a bullish cross on the daily RSI, and price held strong even after yesterday's bleed. We are at a key level for XRP BTC. This area has acted as resistance for roughly 6 years. We are looking to see if we can build enough momentum for us to break out here and start to head towards our next area of resistance in the gray box highlighted below. Yeah, and so I'll pause to note that he might be like the 5th XRP chart analyst I follow that has pointed out how long the XRP BTC chart has been in consolidation mode. And for some reason, he only went back to 6 years. Other analysts have noted it's more like 8 years, actually, that it's been consolidating here. And the reason that's noteworthy is the longer something consolidates, the greater the force that it will burst with when it finally goes. And so it sure as hell has. It's the same concept as last year when we were talking about how XRP USD, it's been at that point, it had been consolidating for almost 7 years. And I was like, guys, when this goes, it's really going to go. So we already had that happen. We're waiting for the same concept to play out, but with the XRP BTC chart, which is why I said XRP will just continue to make Bitcoin its little bitch. It is not done doing that. And it's going to piss off the Bitcoin maxis, which, again, fills me with great joy. We're getting there. Then he says, finally, XRP ETH on the weekly continues to bounce off multi-year resistance, flipped into support, as we highlighted in this week's newsletter. We are not out of the woods yet, but XRP is looking a little different to a lot of crypto here. Yeah, not too shabby. This is a good story. There is nothing bad to this story, folks. Here's chart analyst Crypto Wizard. This is an XRP BTC chart. He's one of the analysts I follow that has pointed this out. 8 years. The sleeping giant is getting ready to wake again. XRP against Bitcoin is teasing its 8-year trend line. A breakout of this lower high trend line will trigger the next rally to new highs. Patience pays. And so is another analyst who very clearly has the attitude of more so when rather than if. It's going to happen. And we haven't had a new all-time high on this chart, again, for the better part of a decade. It's probably coming. That would be my guess. And you can imagine what that would mean for XRP, the XRP USD chart. It'll just be completely buck wild. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto, XRP BTC chart. And you can see that he's got some confidence here. He's got a squiggle here indicating that, in the short term here, looks like XRP is about to destroy Bitcoin performance-wise here. And he's been talking about this for a while. In fact, so here's another post. This is from Sunday. It's from Sunday, 2 days ago. XRP BTC on the screen here. And he said, primary target for this next swing up on XRP to range highs puts us at $3.60 to $4, depending on where Bitcoin is at when we hit it. I'll be taking profits on scalp slash swing longs when we hit that region, most likely. Spot will, of course, continue to be held till double digits. And so, look, and he really is one of the best analysts in the space so far as I'm concerned. There's a reason he's got 475,000 followers. He's well trusted, great track record. And he insists, even at this point, even with all this fear here, he's like, no, XRP's going to double digits. That's where he's going to start selling closer to $10. And he believes what's most likely is XRP is going to peak between $20 to $30 a cycle. He is not wavering on that. He's made that very clear. Here's a post, another one from Credible Crypto. And this is just from yesterday because people are freaking out. Somebody named V. Willie wrote to him and said, with all due respect, Cred, I don't understand how you see the market as bullish, especially with those two red Bitcoin candles on the weekly, clearly saying rejected from 119K, gives January 25th vibes. And so that's one example of somebody who is like, it's all over. It's over, folks. And so Credible Crypto wrote, $107,000 to $110,000 has always been the most pivotal point on the Bitcoin chart. Said this weeks ago in that vid, his recent YouTube video. He says, nothing has changed now that we are at the zone. This is the most likely zone for a full-on reversal. Doesn't mean it is guaranteed, of course, but this is the last place it makes sense to start flipping bearish. Exactly. It's just, number go down, people get scared, that's just how it is. And then somebody wrote to him and said, it's over if we lose $107,000. And he said, this is Credible Crypto again, he said, no. If $105,000 is lost, it's not over. It just means the most aggressive slash bullish scenario is out of play, and a deeper correction is a lot more likely. Higher time frame structure isn't broken until slash unless $74,000 is lost. All explained in my last YouTube video. So before you ask, why so low for higher time frame validation, go watch the vid. So again, not scared at all. He's definitely not scared at all. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto, XRP USD chart here. And he simply wrote, we're still on track. The only change we're seeing is in the duration. The blue supply zone is doing its job based on its name. Closing within the green zone will trigger wave 3 of 3, and that's my stance. Take it or leave it, but anything else would be absurd. And you can see where he's targeting up here, somewhere in the neighborhood of about $30 for XRP. So I don't pretend to know if that price level is going to get hit this market cycle, but it could. It ain't crazy to think that it might. Definitely not. Because and look, when this happens, this is very normal for crypto, including XRP. It just happens really fast. Like I was saying in a video the other day, when we finally have this last leg up for XRP for this cycle, if history rhymes, it's going to last only like 2 or 3 weeks. That's it. So it's going to come and go real fast, and that's your opportunity for life-changing wealth. But we're about there. Here's a post from Dark Defender. He says, whichever path you use, whether Elliott wave, cut pattern, or historical pattern, it doesn't matter. All roads lead to Rome. XRP completed the cup and its handle. The next leg up is ready. So he still got that conviction too. Here's a post from Charting Guy. He simply wrote XRP Wyckoff reaccumulation. And so he's showing what's been unfolding with XRP recently compared to a Wyckoff accumulation schematic here. He's saying that's all it is. This is perfectly normal, very healthy. Number go up ultimately. So continued conviction, like I said, from literally every analyst that I follow. There is no exception that I've seen so far. Here's one of the most popular analysts out there, Altcoin Gordon, 800,000 followers. And he simply wrote, XRP is on the verge of a monumental run higher. And so in the short term, he's targeting close to $6. Not that it has to stop there, or that it would. It's just, again, like I keep telling you, at this time where people are fearful, the analysts who have been here for more than 5 seconds and have actual great track records, they are bullish for what's unfolding right now. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Galaxy, XRP USD on the screen. He says, XRP, consolidating between new support and previous all-time high, just as it did in 2017. So again, like I told you, continued conviction. We ain't done here, folks. Chart analyst Sally Martinez shared this post. She says, it won't take long before XRP is back at $3.70. And so he's actually predicting a new all-time high in the short term. And you know it's not going to stop there. Here's a post from chart analyst Javon Marks. He says, according to past breakout and cycle performance and the extremely high similarities of this cycle, next up for XRP is another 200% increase, greater than 200% increase to $9.63 plus. And then ... So again, he gets it. And these are all analysts who accurately called XRP breaking out this market cycle. they've got great track records. Then we had this from Chart Analyst X-Force Global, and he was just sharing his most recent bullish primary count on the XRP chart, targeting close to $6 in the short term here. So, if you're not excited now, that's on you, folks. Like you should be very excited, because even though nobody knows for sure what's going to happen, and I don't pretend to either, I do know what is most probable to occur in a general sense, which is XRP is going to have that final rip to the upside, and we're going to have a proper alt season. I don't think this is going to be the first cycle where there's no alt season. That would be just completely absurd. So yes, again, higher. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.